Hello, sports fan. This is Steven here with Sports Choice Plus. I'm bringing you a very special breakdown. We're going to be covering this is a redemption year. Before I get right into that, I want to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Hit the subscription button right now so you can be subscribed. Every single time I have content that comes out on Sports Choice Plus, you can be notified first, comment first, like first, share first. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Looking at this now, this is going to be a redemption story. Having had a terrible rookie season, and it wasn't all his fault, you got to think the Carolina Panthers were not an organization that just absolutely had everything in place. And you got to think this young man here, Bryce Young, took a beating all year long. From injury, being out, to you see him, he's a lot going bigger now. You see he's a lot more muscular now. And you're seeing from starting 16 of 17 games, but not having passed over 200 yards in 11 of those games. Think about this. Having started 17 games, but you only threw essentially a handful of games over 200 yards when you're used to throwing for over 300 yards in college. It's a big difference. And he has a smaller frame. He took a lot of pounding. The offensive line has been worked on by the Carolina Panthers this offseason. They've got free agents in. They went in the draft and focused on it. But you got to think. I think that Bryce Young is going to have to study the tape of Russell Wilson. He's going to have to study the tape of Geno Wilson. Baker Mayfield. He's going to have to study the Drew Breeses, the tape of smaller quarterbacks to see what it took, what did they do to be effective in the NFL. When you're throwing over guys that's 6'5", when you're throwing over guys that's 6'6", and you're basically 6 foot, your trajectory, your arc, everything has to be different. You have to be trained in a different way to throw that high because essentially your guys are that big. So with that being said, I think the Carolina Panthers are going to have a better season. Let's just be honest. You know, getting Xavier Legette out of South Carolina is a big thing because he's a big play target, a big play wide receiver out of South Carolina. Getting Deontay Johnson and then Jonathan Brooks, you got to think there's going to be a lot to go on. In terms of offensive weapons, he doesn't have upper echelon weapons. He doesn't have upper tier offensive linemen, but he's smart enough up top to protect himself. He's smart enough up top to call different protections now. In year two, you know where the pressure's coming from now. You know because you're tired of getting hit. So essentially, I think Bryce Young is going to bounce back. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to win 10 games, 12 games, 13 games. But I think you'll see an improvement. You'll see an improvement in 3 different areas. His overall completion percentage, his third down percentage, and his sack total. You won't see him get sacked as much. You'll see his completion percentage go up. You'll see that third down percentage slightly go up. And you'll see his completion percentage go up. So these are things that I'm looking for Bryce. It may not be a win-loss column, to where he's beating the Atlanta Falcons or beating the Bucks or beating the Saints, but it may be better games. Maybe throwing over 200 yards a game. Maybe throwing over 300 yards a game. Hitting different milestones. You got to keep in mind you're a rookie and this team doesn't have a lot of draft picks, doesn't have a lot of capital on a team. So with that being said, Bryce is going to have to manufacture points with his legs, manufacture points on the ground with the run game, and manipulate the passing game to where he's making the safeties move, making the linebackers move, and getting those matchups where his wide receivers can get open. I believe in this young man, and I think he's got a bright future. And again, he was not a complete failure as a rookie. He made some good plays. He made some good magic, but he also had a lot of bad tape. The way that you fix bad tape is you study, you find your inconsistencies, you work on those deficiencies in the offseason, you get your wide receivers together, and you work. So all you Carolina Panthers fans, get in the comment section below. All you NFL fans, what do you feel like Carolina's going to do? Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus. Make sure you subscribe, share, and like. And we'll see you in the very next video.